Porsche has ushered in the third generation of the Porsche Cayenne, but before you get too excited, you should be aware of the fact that it looks quite a bit like its predecessor. Now, this isn't because Porsche was lazy. No. This is because the Cayenne went through an extensive update just back in 2015, so after 3 years it was time to make some changes while leaving the relatively fresh body intact with just little extras here and there. As such, Porsche focused its energy on what happens beneath the skin, bringing updated or new technology that includes rear axle steering as standard equipment, a 3-chamber suspension, 48-volt electronic roll stabilization, and 2 new engines that offer up more power and better economy. At the skin level, we see a revised interior and exterior that is really more of a honing to the previous layout than an update, but it's exactly what the Cayenne needed to take its respective segment by storm in 2018. For now, there are only 2 trim levels available, the Bass level Cayenne and the Cayenne S like the second-gen model. It will likely take a couple of years, but Porsche should build a lineup with a diesel and a plug-in hybrid variant at some point. There's also the potential for an all-electric model at some point in this generation if Porsche really gets froggy, but we'll leave that speculation for another time. For now, let's take a good look at the new Cayenne and talk about all of the exciting changes that will carry it into the next decade. As far as the side profile goes, there are even fewer changes, with the upper body line making a slightly more dominating presence and the lower body line sitting just a bit higher on the doors. The wheel arches get the same definition as before, while the rear C-pillar has been tilted forward ever so slightly to provide a different look in the rear and make for slightly smaller rear quarter glass in the back door. The rest of this side profile remains the same, but the side view mirrors are now just a bit shorter from top to bottom and a bit wider, giving the Cayenne less of a Dumbo look. Much like the exterior, the interior could easily pass as a facelift to the untrained eye or occasional onlooker. And, you can't be blamed, as there are a lot of the same styling cues from the second generation here, but they have been tweaked just a little bit. Starting out with these things first, take a look at the corner back vents. They are nearly the same shape, but now feature a flat edge on top and now sit a little deeper in the dash, making for thinner surrounding rings. An important point to note here is that they also adjust a little further to the outside than before. Thanks to the thinner door skins, the dash is actually a bit wider, not by much, but it is there. The handles on the door trim and on the center console are nearly identical, and are even angled the same, but have been moved further back on the door time and further forward on the console. The vents on top of the dash are still in place but now sit flat in the dash instead of bubbling upward on either side of that analog clock. And, even though you don't see it in the picture here, that clock is available as an option and is less obtrusive thanks to the dash being angled further forward and sitting just a bit lower.